If anybody wants to know what event planning looks like once DEI is completely removed from all planning and it's just left up to the boring, crotchety, crusty old white men, take a look at this.
Empty stands.
So this is Trump's military parade that he boasted about, which is AKA his birthday party. And it was absolutely abysmal turnout, abysmal. And we've said on this show that they exaggerate their support. It's a whole system of robots and bored people that sit at home all day long on the internet, plus Russian trolls. Let's look at this image of the lackluster, limp dick turnout. There it is right there. And even Trump couldn't stay awake. Here's an image of him falling asleep. Here's an image of Lil Marco yawning during, and even Melania looks absolutely bored to tears. And then here is smoky eye sociopath J.D. Vance, who has no riz, trying to bring the house down at this very poorly attended, limp dick military parade. Play the clip.
Well, let me say to the thousands of Americans who traveled from distant towns and across state lines to be here today, this is your national capital. Welcome to Washington, D.C. We are thrilled to have you.
Okay. So also PBS covered this, and it shows what the applause was when Trump starts speaking, and it was about like that. Uh-huh. Yay. Fox News covered it, and they actually injected fake applause. And this has been all over the internet this morning. And so remember, everybody, Fox News had to pay $1 billion for lying to its viewers. So all of the Fox News white people sitting at home watching this, they get this exaggerated effect that Trump has all of this support. And he clearly doesn't, especially when you juxtapose this with the No Kings marches that had millions upon millions upon millions of people in small towns and big cities speak out against this absolutely fascist and authoritarian regime.
Do you know what my favorite part about the parade was? When the tanks are rolling by, you can hear the wheels rolling because it is so quiet. I have seen more enthusiasm at a funeral. This was absolutely, and here's one other thing. When are we going to start calling Donald Trump Sleepy Donald? He was asleep at the Pope's funeral, at the prayer breakfast for his inauguration, at this, during his trials.
I would take sleepy. What we're dealing with here is a man that looks like he got a day pass from the memory wing at the nursing home. That's what we're dealing with. He goes out all day, every day, and spews nonsense. He spews a jet stream of bullshit. He contradicts himself constantly. He doesn't know where he is. Even in this parade, he's standing there, and a military general had to come get him and say, it's time for you to move off stage, Papa. This is beyond. I would take a little bit tired all day long, but we're dealing with something far, far beyond that. But let's see how Fox News reported on the parade. They had a correspondent named Rebecca Coffler come on and weigh in.
Now is former Defense Intel Agency officer Rebecca Coffler. Rebecca, what are your thoughts tonight on the incredible symbolism and the messaging that we saw here tonight from the Commander-in-Chief on the Army's 250th birthday?
I am so excited, Emily and Lucas Tomlinson. Everybody, like, this is incredible. Finally, the United States is back. I want to really thank all of our Army, Navy, and Air Force.
Okay, that's enough. Basically, what you have with this MAGA movement right now are a bunch of psychopaths and a bunch of drunks, a bunch of misfits. This woman was shit-faced beyond comprehension, and she goes on Fox News, and she's so excited about that lackluster, horrific parade. I am so embarrassed embarrassed for the military. I am so saddened for them that these people had to go and march in front of a man that showed up with all this makeup on his face, with all the psychos, and you have Pete Hegseth, and reporting is that his Department of Defense is utter chaos. And all of you know alcoholics, all of you have been around alcoholics, their lives are chaotic. So we have Pete Hegseth, an untreated alcoholic who has clearly mommy issues, daddy issues, a whole deluge of issues, running the Department of Defense. But what I really want to get at here is when you remove the LGBTQIA plus community from anything, that's what you get.
Right.
Look at how the entertainment factor of that, this is what the country will be when it's left up to crusty old white men, a squeaky tank rolling down the street and everybody's falling asleep. And then these drunks just think it's the best thing ever because it doesn't take much to impress somebody who's shit canned off their ass.
Well, you know, I look at that parade and I think that is a symbol of how Pete Hegseth is running our military. This is how our military is prepared for battle. And even if you take out the part that Pete Hegseth is an alcoholic, he is incompetent. He has run 2 nonprofits that had to be closed due to mismanagement. You have testimony that he showed up drunk to work at Fox News on the weekends. He took employees to strip bars and got so wasted he had to pass out.
Which all of that is related to the alcoholism.
No, but I'm saying, but
right.
The incompetence of running 2 nonprofits into the ground, that's before you even get into the white supremacy tattoos, firing admirals. Like, our military is the weakest it has been in my lifetime.
I mean, it is unbelievable that the party that says they are for the military refuses to fund veterans health care, shut down the veterans suicide hotline, calls them all up to go march in front of an 80-year-old man that wears a full face of makeup that wants to turn the United States military forces against its own citizens with whom he disagrees with whom call him out. These people that want accountability and transparency in government, and he's taking these career military people as just entertainment for him, entertainment for his unfixable ego. It is beyond the pale, and we're getting trolled by Russia.
Yeah.
We're getting trolled by China. We're getting trolled by North Korea because this military parade was an embarrassment from start to finish, and no Republicans will defend these guys. They won't vote for them, and then they demean people in the military that are minorities by removing names of ships that are named after people of color, or Harvey Milk, the gay activist who served. He served in the Army, and he had a ship named after him. But Pete Hegseth is so wildly insecure. This is a constant gaslighting by the MAGA movement to say, the reason you can't have nice things is because of gay people, and we can't have them in the military. When I think if you really break down the majority of Americans are not triggered by these things. The majority of Americans want a transparent, accountable government. But please support our show by supporting our sponsors. And today we are so happy to partner with Sundays for Dogs. You guys, my dogs absolutely love this food. It's not all of that processed, gross, stinky dog food. Sundays is fresh dog food made from a short list of human-grade ingredients. Sundays was co-founded by Dr. Tori Waxman, a practicing veterinarian who tests and formulates every version of each recipe. My dogs love it so much, and I feel so good feeding my dogs the best quality food I possibly can.
As a parent, and I know other dog parents that have used Sundays, they have notable health improvements in their pets, including softer fur, fresher breath, and better poops.
And it ships right to your front door, so you never have to worry about running out of food ever again. You can cancel or pause your subscription anytime with our 14-day money-back guarantee. Listener, get 40% off your first order of Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/IHIP news or use code IHIP news at checkout. Okay, and now there's been a lot of tweets online from veterans, people that have served in the Army, and a lot of them are speculating that the soldiers that were marching, they were all out of step. Their steps weren't coordinating, that it was intentional. And so this is a sampling of multiple posts that are going viral right now online. Pop this up. Christopher David tweets, I've marched in more military parades than I even care to remember, probably watched dozens more as a spectator. And this is easily the worst and sloppiest marching I've ever witnessed at a formal military parade. It feels like a big fuck you to Trump from the soldiers. And so I thought that was a really interesting take. And then I saw more and more posts like this because they all know how to march.
Right.
In unison. And there's a person that calls it to make sure they're all still in unison. And they're not smiling. You can tell by their body language that they don't want to be there, that they feel like they're props. And I thought that when I saw it, but then when I saw online, so many veterans speaking out on behalf of these people saying they're doing this on purpose. It is a fuck you to the MAGA movement.
Well, after what they did to the Fort Bragg last week, where Trump made everybody wear MAGA hats and only sympathizers with him were allowed to be behind him. I mean, he has politicized the military, and career military officials will tell you over and over and over again, I pledge allegiance to the Constitution, not the president. And it's so obvious. A, people running it are stupid. And B, Donald Trump wants to be a king and the loyalty to him and not the Constitution.
And he always uses phrases like my parade, my military. He uses it as his. And the people who left Trump 1.0 and people that were in the military spoke out about how he wanted the military to be his own personal goon squad. And we're seeing that actually play out in real time. He is going to use the military to provoke United States citizens. Why is he doing this? And this is the most important thing. He's doing this because he does not want it to go to midterms, because he knows he's done a lot of illegal shit and he will get impeached. He wants to declare martial law to prevent free and fair elections from happening. There's also a case of a county in New York that a judge has approved to go to court where there are a lot of voting disparities in 2024. A lot of people are asking, when you look at the disparity of crowds that you saw at the Trump's birthday party, Limp Dick crowd, and then you have literally millions, tens of millions of people all over the United States that turn out against him. Again, millions turn out against him, very few turn out for him. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, but it does make you think, if you're a thinking person, what happened in 2024? And so there's a case that we're keeping our eye on. We'll do another story on this later. I don't know. I hope that our elections are free and fair, but it's something that we need to keep our eye on, because it seems to me like Trump's support is wildly exaggerated to only the online space. You see these inflated numbers online. You see all of these bots come out of the woodwork. But when it's time for them to show up and put up for him, you just don't see it in numbers in real time. And that's pretty interesting to me. All right, that's all we have for today. We'll see you all in a little bit. Please subscribe. Please go buy our book, Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches, and we'll see you soon.